got one. Is the power structure has got so lopsided. You got one handful of people that's able to control almost the entire goddamn world, and somehow these handful of people, I don't know if they got mind control or what. I guess they do. I think a lot of people are brainwashed, white and black, but in this country, white people, because they are the majority, are brainwashed. Because I can't understand how can one man, a few senators, a couple hundred people control 360 million people at the whim. I never was able to understand that. How can these few goddamn, I'm not talking about when we all agree on some shit and, we trying to move society forward, we're trying to progress, but all the bullshit that they can just have a few people get snorting, Matt Gaetz snorting coke, raping little pedophiles, raping kids in Congress, in the Senate, right? You got all type of shit going on. You got presidents running around with Jeffrey Epstein, who was a pedophile, and all this shit, and somehow these are the lowest of the low, the worst of the worst, the criminal, the filthy of the filthy, the disgusting ass of the disgusting asses are able to somehow run the rest of the world or rest of the country. I'm not going to say the world. I'm just talking about this country, right? Because that's who is basically in charge of everything. The most indecent, the most inhumane, monstrous, immoral people in the goddamn world somehow are the people that are able to run the country. I never understood that about this country. I never was able to understand that about this country. Like, maybe people start off good and then they get corrupted by power and money. But once we find out that these politicians are corrupted, once we find out all of the horrible crimes and the nastiness they commit, even as far as the pedophilia with the young kids and shit, they're touching and sodomizing and doing all this shit, we still allow them to hold power. There's no backlash. There's no like, oh my God, get them out of here. We can't have this motherfucker representing us or these people, controlling us or these people over us, our overlords. You would think that, but no, people usually double down, and the more they find out that they're touching little kids, the more they support them. It's the craziest shit in the world to me. The more they find out that they're goddamn snorting and sniffing cocaine, but then they'll give your son or people they'll have you think that your son and people in your family are bad if they do drugs, but all of them are on drugs, or many of them are on drugs, right? You got stories coming out of senators snorting coke, buying prostitutes, and raping little kids. And they make you believe that your kid belongs, your child, your husband, your wife belongs in the motherfucking, for non-violent crimes, like just bullshit drug crimes, because they're addicted to opioids or got some other addiction. You think they're criminals and they need to teach them a lesson. Lock my son up, lock my daughter up, lock my children up. Yes, please help us, white man. You give these motherfuckers all this power behind the scenes, they're doing the same thing that they teach you to despise about yourself and your own. But behind the motherfucking curtain here, they are doing exactly the same goddamn thing. And over, year after year, not only do they get supported, but when they get exposed, people support them more. Right? Look at Donald Trump, man. Donald Trump was going in the dressing rooms, looking at little 12 and 16 and 14-year-old girls get dressed, watching them naked, just walking in on them, making all type of crazy-ass comments, so he's looking at them. Donald Trump was running around with Jeffrey Epstein, who was a known pedophile, seen at parties and all type of gathering and events, taking pictures, posing with him, laughing with him at all his parties. And then he became president, and you got half the goddamn country doubled down and support this man. I'm gonna goddamn go on the limb and say it's a more chance than not that Donald Trump is a pedophile and does drugs, just from seeing that he used to run and befriend basically very good friends with pedophiles. Like, if I'm not a pedophile, then I won't be able to be friends with pedophiles. That'd be crazy as hell, right? If I find out somebody's a pedophile and raping little kids, and then you find out that I know about it, because we know now Donald Trump knows about it, and his only statement was, oh, he likes them young. Donald Trump said that about Jeffrey Epstein back in the day. He likes them young. What can I say? Yeah, but you must like them young too, because you're at his private islands, you're at all of his get-togethers. But like I say, I go back to say, if I find out you're a pedophile and we are friends, soon as I find out you're a pedophile and you're raping little kids, our friendship is going to be dissolved. I'm not going to continue to be friends with you. And if I did, then anybody on the outside looking in would have to assume that I am also taking part in the pedophilia. I am also taking part in the drugs and the prostitution and all of the criminal, everything that they send my people and white people, kids and fathers and husbands and mothers and grandfathers, everything they send us to cages pages for and try to lock us up for and have us believe that these are the worst people in society and they must be punished. Behind the scenes, they are doing the exact same thing and living their best life, right? They're out partying, doing coke, getting high, and having sex with minors, right? They're on yachts and cruises and going to private islands and all type. They're living their best goddamn lives, doing the exact same thing that they lock people up for 20, 30, 40, 50 years, decades upon decades. Even make your dumb ass believe your own children should be locked up because they got to be taught a lesson by the pedophile, by the drug addict. Anyway, man, I don't even know what more can I have to say about that, man. But so maybe that's why these UFOs are starting to come up, because they're like, okay, this shit has hit rock bottom. This is it. These filthy creatures need to be eradicated, or maybe they're going to come and try to readjust and realign society. Because I'm going to say, I have been having these thoughts for a long time now. We have definitely lost our way. You have mothers and fathers that literally cheer and pray and wish. I've been to court and seen parents show up and say, yes, I think my son, I think my daughter should be locked up, right? They want them to go to jail because I think we should put them in a cage so I can teach them a lesson, knowing that they going to potentially get raped, maimed, beat, brutalized, right? Most of the time, it ain't the people that go into prison that are the criminals. Once they come out, they're criminals. You learn all the criminal shit once you go there. This is a fact. And I can speak for that, right? So at the end of the day, it's just crazy to me. And that is mostly all the Republicans who support these type of people and Democrats who support these type of people on both sides, right? You got people who would die-hard Trump supporters, die-hard Matt Gaetz fans, while at the same time saying that the other side are pedophiles or doing this corrupt thing or that corrupt thing. And then when the facts of the information come out that is actually their people doing it, they will double down and support them. I forget the governor name that was running for senator. I forget the guy in Alabama. He was running for something in Alabama. I think he was running for the Senate. And he's a known goddamn pedophile. And you had Republican women and men support him to the grave. It's just unbelievable. But it's really on both sides. But right, these new stories are relevant now. So I'm speaking about Republicans and white people now, because these are the stories that's coming out about Republicans and their if you're a Republican and you're in any type of position of power like the Senate, is a 99.9% chance you're white, because I think there's only one black Republican in the entirety of the Senate. And I don't even know. Is there any black Republican congressmen? There's very minimal. And they're the ones that's always in the news now. Left and damn right. And not in the news for like, oh, election fraud or this type of, no, they're in the news for goddamn prostitution, drugs, and pedophilia. And rape. Right? It's just crazy to me. This is the type of shit these people wind up in the news for. And somehow every year, people, our community, our countrymen, our society will re-elect and vote these people back in. I know he rapes little kids, but gotta be a Republican. I gotta stand with the Republican.